Morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
We are busy in the kitchen, both of us today. What are you making, Melanie?
Cake.
What?
Chocolate cake.
Melanie's so quiet, even I can't hear her.
I'm gonna make chocolate cake.
And I am going to dip some cheese. I'm melting the wax. I'm going to dip a batch of cheese in the wax and coat it. Yesterday's canning of the squash gave us 8 quarts. I got my plastic from the wax. 8 quarts of squash. Now, we ate some immediately, 4 meals of it, and had 8 quarts put away. And we had a soup last night, which was really nice. Melanie made a squash soup. It was good. So very soon here, I will have my wax ready, and I'm going to dip my cheese. But I already did a full cheese video, which you'll see separately. I just haven't had the time to finish the putting it up. There's my cheese. Let's take it over to better light. The kitchen light is blue. So there's my first piece of cheese. That is from 1 gallon of milk. Made me a batch of cheddar cheese. That's all you get from a gallon of milk. Pressed and finished. Now I have a complete cheese video and a blog post that I will be doing, or an article. This is almost ready to eat. Another week and a half or so and we'll be ready to eat our own cheddar cheese, our first ever. But we gotta wait and wait and wait. So watch for that video, guys. Hey everybody, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm still gonna move these boards right here. We're cleaning up around the homestead today, even more. Melanie raked out here in the floor. I've got the wood stoves. I'm trying to decide which is going to be used inside the shed. We've completely cleaned out the shed. And I've got my tiny house battery bank, and then I've got the other batteries that will be, that's going to be a battery charging station. The propane tank will probably go on the ground underneath, down under here. And I can walk in and out between the water tank and the battery station, which is convenient and comfortable. So, looking pretty good here. I'm feeling good about the whole system now. Somebody suggested mounting a board between, or something between the plumbing and the electrical. Well, that's not a bad idea. It wouldn't be a big deal to just put a board up right here. So I might eventually do that. The propane shower feels good. And I held my hand up above the exhaust while Melanie was using it and having a shower last night. I held my hand right about here and held it continuously while she had her shower, and it didn't burn me. So for now, I'm comfortable, but I am going to come up with a galvanized pipe and an elbow and go out. A friend of mine has that, and that'll also help distribute the heat along inside the shed. So we want to keep that heat in here as much as possible. But we're going to use a pipe and run it through the wall for extra safety, because once we put the insulation up in here and then the ceiling, then that'll reduce the clearance from that exhaust to the ceiling, and then I'll definitely have to have that piped out. Now I've still got my tools from all my work over here putting that in. Once I clear that up, then we just have our water tanks in here. I still have some insulation that we're going to be putting in the walls. I still have to finish that. And everybody asks, are you going to put a door on the shed? And yes, I'm going to put a door on the shed. An insulated sliding barn type door on the shed. And I'm so happy I made it the width that I did to get the water tanks in and out. It's very good, and I can get them in and out with ease and comfort. So that's very convenient. Today, since we've already burnt down all but 50 gallons of water, I don't even see, yeah, we're about 50 gallons is all we have left. Taking showers uses water. So today, I'm going to go down to the creek with Chris and my water pump that I just picked up. It's going to take time because it's not a very fast pump. But we are going to close this dirty old tank because it's got some algae buildup in it. We're going to close it off, and we're going to leave this line on. We're going to put clean creek water in here with a little tiny bit of bleach, just a tiny bit. And then we'll be running off this for now. And then I want to go and get a couple more tanks and fill this totally. I can only get a half a tank on the truck at one time, a third to a half a tank at one time without sloshing around too much, because I have to get down to the creek and the truck is on a bad angle, and it's just I can only get about 100 gallons at a time in there. So anyway, I'm going to go down and get water and fill this up and have a lot of bleach in it and let that sit for a while and kill off anything in there and kill the green, and then I'll be connecting the two tanks again. So we got big plans. Let me see what else has been going on here at the homestead. We've all been busy and we've all been working and cleaning around the property today. By the way, let me see, 1 o'clock. Now remember, 2 o'clock, there's the sun. Alright, that we would not have had sun here. With those trees there, we would not have had sun on our solar panels. Now we've got sun in these panels, full sun in these panels. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we have full sunlight, and we are in absorption mode already. 400 watts on the, sorry, you can't really get the angle there. 400 watts coming in there in absorption mode, and the Renogy sadly kicks off. I'm really not happy with that the Renogy doesn't play with the other chargers. The Renogy kicks off totally when the TriStar is working, but it doesn't like the absorption mode of the TriStar. And yes, it is set properly. Anyway, so we're looking really, really good here in the tiny house on wheels. Really good for power. Hi guys, you might remember there was a lawnmower here and some batteries and the clothes rack, the laundry dryer, which by the way, I'm very frustrated with modern stuff. Everything is made to decompose and biodegrade within a season or two, and it had biodegraded and decomposed and actually collapsed on me and cut my arm nicely and gave me some good bruises. It completely collapsed when I touch it because the plastic holding the metal arms up had biodegraded and disintegrated when I touched it. Fortunately, that never happened to Melanie. I'm very happy that didn't happen to her. We've got our washing machines up on pallets and covered with a tarp neatly. Looks very much better. And I think I'm going to move that forklift battery over here, because we also want to take the solar heater that I got from that house this summer from Michigan, and I want to mount it right here on this wall. I'm going to put it out on an angle at a platform here and mount it on that wall so that the passive solar heater will heat the shed, the water shed for us when the sun is shining this winter, and that'll help greatly. So we've cleaned out this whole area up in front of the house. I do think I'm going to move those that forklift battery, because I don't like where it looks right now, sitting on a slope, and hook a solar panel up to it for maintenance. And that's it. The side yard here, except for a little trash can, there's nothing here at all, and Melanie even raked up around the area and raked up our little bit of leaves that we had here. So everything out here except for cutting firewood and splitting wood, everything out here is clean and neat. Very nice. Very, very nice. I still want to get rid of this crate full of little bits and pieces of wood. That's basically kindling, and I don't like the looks of it. I want to get rid of that. And then we'll have nothing but firewood and the goat milking station and the goat pen. So it's looking really good here. I'll walk you on over. I found a couple more logs that have to be cut, so I'll be using my sawbuck, my homemade sawbuck, and we'll be cutting these little odds and ends that I dragged out. We've got our power equipment all parallel parked nice and neatly here. Every tool has its own purpose and use here at the Off-Grid Homestead. The Simplicity, the old orange behemoth, is just a hardcore workhorse. The Snapper is going to be, because it runs, there's nothing wrong with it except it needs a carburetor clean out, is going to be the actual riding lawnmower. And then the Craftsman, which I got a year or two ago, was up by the storage tent by the house all this time. That's the one with the leaky engine, where when you pour motor oil in, it pours right out. And that one day, because it's a good machine and has a good deck, I'll get it going. I think it's a good winter project to get that going. So there we have all our power equipment, nice and neatly parallel parked over here. So the homestead is looking good. Hey guys, we're going for a water run. Chris has a Harbor Freight generator he brings over for us. And we got extension cord, we got the pump that I just bought, we got some water hose, we got a tank that looks really small in this truck, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know.
And we're gonna go to the creek and get some water, so see you guys out there. Hi everybody, we're down here at the creek. Not much left. Not much left at all. It's been a drought situation this year, and there's not much left. The pump isn't even submerged. Not really. So we've got the Harbor Freight running. We've got, looks like it's got a gas leak. Mine had the same thing. I think you have a fuel leak. Mine had the same thing, Chris. When you
when I felt it before.
No, I think you got the same issue mine had. I think that's a glitch, a problem with these. When you fill up the tank, mine had that. So we've got the tank on here, and we're starting to put water in. Slow, really slow. Now, I've been told again and again and again by people to get a ram pump. I don't know how much water flow it takes to make a ram pump work, but this isn't much water flow. Now, sure, I could modify the creek, but this is not my property. I am on a neighbor's property right now, and I have permission sometimes to access the creek, but it's not my land. The creek doesn't ever come near my land. And so I really cannot put a ram pump, because where I am right now is a quarter-mile from the house. And it's just not doable. It just is not possible. I would need a quarter-mile of pipe through somebody else's property to even get to my land. And then in winter, forget it. We're talking about a ram pump pumping water slowly through a quarter-mile of pipe in extreme harsh cold northern conditions. I don't think, I might be wrong, but I don't think it would work. But the first obstacle is that it's not even on my land. Anyway, the other obstacle is I don't know if there's enough water here anymore. Again, you'd have to modify it, but when it's not my land, I don't know if I could do that. So for now, we use a sump pump and a generator. This is what we got. Hey guys, here's the dirt lane and the bridge where I come across to head to the house. And you can hear, I think you can hear the generator. The water pump is right down here. There. So here's where I am. Just before the entrance to my lane. Well, the lane that goes to me through the forest to the neighbor's property. Anyway, so we're quite a ways yet from the homestead right here. And right here is the pond where I go fishing. And that is a long way from the house. I want to get Melanie out here a couple more times and stock up on some fish before winter. And the water is down, down, down. I don't know if you can tell, the water level was up here, and now it's way, 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 way down. So it's looking bad. Everything is drying up this year. We had a drought. We didn't have enough rain this year. we had rainstorms, but they bypassed us and didn't dump any rain on us, no quantity. And everything dried up. The garden dried up, and people's wells are drying up. Nobody has water. That's why the creek is a trickle. The pond is dried up. But anyway, next year we hope to have better water some way or another. We hope to have a better water situation, whether we haul it or whatever. That was weird.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Well, that was the water pump.
Yeah, shut off and turned on.
Yeah. Water pump hiccuped. Anyway, so we hope to either have a well or some way to get water at the house. Here we're surrounded by water, but at the house we don't have any, and we really need more water for next year. Hey guys, got a nice amount of water on the tank on the truck. A little over half. Boy, those welds bulge out without the framing on. That really bulges out. That's the terrible thing with that, without the framing on these tanks. Well, we're gonna go back up to the house. Bad problem is that pump doesn't fit inside the tank, just a tiny bit too big. So now we have a problem because we have water on the truck, and I don't know how we're going to get that into the tanks in the house, because the water level of this is not that much. It's not higher than the top of the tank. And this, people, is why I cut trees. The big reason why I cut all those trees. Yeah, I'm going to show you in a minute. Of course, it's afternoon hours, but let me show you why that was so important. We are in float mode. The Renogy is pulling in 7.2 amps. The TriStar is in float. That is what it's all about, everybody. Now we get early morning sunlight all the way through, and we're in float by early afternoon. That's good news. Hey everybody, well, there's a beautiful sight. Water coming into the new tank. We got the sump pump in, little generator. Now, I had to modify that pump by cutting off a little lip on it, and then it slipped in, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get it out of there again, so I'm a little concerned about that. It's in there, but I don't know if I'm getting it out of there. We'll see. Hi guys. Well, there's a beautiful sight. A little over half a tank. No, 150, yeah, a little over half a tank of gas. We gotta put our gear away. I got a shelf here we picked up the other day on the way home. I just finished processing these two trees. There's a couple little pieces up in there I still gotta get, and one branch on the ground. I processed all this wood, and then we found some more out here that needed to be done, so I cut them up, and I just fired up the log splitter while I was getting my gear off, my protective gear from the chainsaw. I had that warming up. Now I'm going to split firewood, all the wood that I just cut. This is becoming a nightly ritual that in the evenings I fire up the chainsaw for a while, run a tank of gas through that, and then I fire up the log splitter until dark, which I'm going to do now. So, talk to you guys later.